Hello there. Suapat Veva, everyone. Welcome back to Dhamma School, the Dhamma of the Buddha, the teaching of the Buddha. In our last lesson, we talked about what should be learnt as Dhamma and what should be taught as Dhamma. The methodology of eliminating kilesa. So, are you able to recognize the arising kilesa, the arising impurities in your mind? Because if you want to get rid of them, obviously, we have to recognize them. We have to study well their behavior. And then we are able to eliminate them systematically from A to Z. So what are these impurities? There are three kinds of kilesa, three kinds of impurities. They are called raga, dosa, and moha. They are three kinds of impure thoughts. Altogether, it's called the root of impurity, the root of unwholesome. So what's raga? Are you able to recognize the arising raga? The raga is the arising likable nature in the mind. The arising likable nature progresses onto contentment and pleasure. And greed and desire and love. Lust, passion, craving, and attachment, etc. Attachment. Which kind of attachment? Likeable attachment. Attachment. Bondage. Likeable bondage. Raga bondage. So, what's the root cause for desire? What's the root cause for love? What's the root cause for craving? The likable nature, the raga. When a raga is arising in our mind, we feel that we are liking for somebody or something. Therefore, we are willing to feel it. We are willing to have it. We are willing to taste it. We are willing to experience it. We are willing to possess it. Therefore, this likable nature, the arising likable nature, is a mental extreme. So what's dosa? Are you able to recognize the arising dosa in your mind? Dosa or dvesa. Dvesa means the second version. Second version of what? The second version of first version. The first version is like in nature, likable nature. So its second version is dislikable nature. The dislike in nature arising in the mind. The unpleasant nature arising in the mind. The arising dislike in nature progresses onto discontentment. And displeasure and anger. Hatred. Resentment, repugnance, jealousy, and aversion. The arising dislike in nature is another attachment, but it's dislikable attachment. Dislikable bondage. Dosa bond. Dislikable bondage. Dislikable attachment. When a dosa thought arises in our mind, we feel that we are not liking for somebody or something. Therefore, we don't want to feel it. We don't want to have it. We don't want to taste it. We don't want to experience it. Therefore, the dosa, the dislikable nature, is another mental extreme. So now we have got two mental extremes, likable nature and dislikable nature, raga and dosa. So what about moha? Are you able to recognize the arising moha in your mind? What's moha? Let's take an example for explaining the moha. Suppose if you are offered a piece of cake, a very good quality, delicious piece of cake. As soon as you start to eat it, when you take the first bite, you feel a taste. You feel a taste. After feeling the taste of this cake, what's your judgment about this cake? What's your judgment about this cake? You may say, wow, it's tasty, it's delicious, I like it, I love it. That means a raga thought arose in your mind. The likable nature arose in your mind. You have created a raga bondage. You have created a likable attachment. That means you have arrived at extreme mental judgment. So my question is, what have you done for arriving at such kind of extreme mental judgment from the moment you feel the taste? What have you done? What kind of action have you taken? It's tasty, it's delicious, but compared to what? Relative to what? It's tasty, it's delicious, compared to all the tastes what you have experienced previously. Therefore, we should understand well that in our mind there are all the tastes what we have experienced previously. Therefore, the new taste, you have compared it to all your previous taste. Therefore, you have done such kind of comparison, such kind of measuring. That comparison is moha. The comparative nature. The final result of that comparison was likable nature, the raga. Therefore, the moha can be defined as incongruous or subjective comparison between likable nature and dislikable nature, between raga and dosa. Suppose a raga thought arose in your mind, or a dosa thought arose in your mind. Now we should understand well that before arising a raga thought or before arising a dosa thought, the comparative nature was playing as an undercurrent. The moha was playing as an undercurrent. Therefore, automatically, we have created a comparative attachment, a comparative bondage, moha bondage. Therefore, in the absence of comparative nature, it's impossible to arise raga or dosa. Therefore, all these three aspects perform together. They all have one root, one origin. As long as there is likable nature, there is always dislikable nature too. As long as there are likable and dislikable natures, there is always comparative nature. As long as there is comparative nature, there are likable and dislikable natures. Therefore, they all have one root, one origin. The root of impurity, the root of unwholesome. So, now we have got an idea about these three impure thoughts: raga, dosa, and moha. In literature, these three aspects are called three sensual dances. sensual dances. Because these three sensual dances, raga, dosa, and moha, they are three spellbindings. They keep us attached to the existence. They keep us attached to the samsara. However, my question is, what's the relationship of Nibbana with these impure thoughts? What's the relationship of Nibbana with raga, dosa, and moha? What's Nibbana? The Buddha has given an excellent definition for Nibbana. Severing the root of raga, severing the root of dosa, severing the root of moha is Nibbana. Now let's look at a discourse relative to this discussion. The sutta is called Nibbana Sutta. Nibbana Sutta, or it's called Samandaka Sutta too. Actually, it's a dialogue between a person named Samandako and Arihat Sariputta. Arihat Sariputta was one of the chief disciples of the Buddha. This person named Samandako came to Arihat Sariputta and asked a question. Nibbananti avusu Sariputta vucchati katamannuko avusu nibbananti. I heard the word nibbana. Arihat Sariputta, what's Nibbana? How could we attain Nibbana? Then Arihat Sariputta replied, Yoko avusu raga kayo dosa kayo moha kayo idan vucchati nibbananti. Raga kayo, raga kayo, dosa kayo, dosa kayo, moha kayo, moha kayo. Kayo. Kayo means to sever. So, raga kayo, severing the root of raga, dosa kayo, severing the root of dosa, moha kayo, severing the root of moha is Nibbana. It was the answer. Severing the root of raga, severing the root of dosa, severing the root of moha. That's Nibbana. Therefore, we should understand well that what we have to do for attaining Nibbana. Severing the root of raga, severing the root of dosa, and severing the root of moha. Therefore, it's clear that the Nibbana never could be attained by dreaming or by wishing. The Nibbana never could be attained by praying. The Nibbana never could be attained by begging from someone or by begging from something like pagodas, statues, rocks, or trees. The Nibbana never could be attained by chanting. The Nibbana never could be attained by accumulating or grasping the meritorious deeds. Nibbana could be attained only by hard working. Hard working of eliminating the arising raga, dosa, and moha. Uprooting the arising raga, dosa, and moha. Therefore, for exercising such kind of activity, one must have such kind of significant effort. That effort is called samma vayama. Samma vayama. Samma vayama. Vayama means effort. Samma. The word samma made up of two words. San plus ma. Ma means to liberate or to liberate forever. San means raga, dosa, and moha all together. Vayama, effort. So, the effort for liberation from raga, dosa, and moha, that's the correct effort. That's the correct effort for attaining Nibbana. Samma vayama. Therefore, for exercising such kind of significant effort, samma vayama, one must have a firm view based on a solid foundation. That firm view is called samma ditti. Samma ditti. Ditti means view. Samma. San plus ma. Ma means to liberate or to liberate forever. San, raga, dosa, and moha. Ditti, the view. So, the view for liberation from raga, dosa, and moha. Raga, dosa, and moha could be uprooted and must be uprooted. The eternal liberation from raga, dosa, and moha could be attained and must be attained. That's the correct view. That's the correct view for attaining Nibbana. That's the correct view for attaining Ragakhayo, Dosakhayo, Mohakhayo. Severing the root of Raga, severing the root of Dosa, severing the root of Moha. Samma Ditti. All right. See you next time. Suapat Veva, everyone.